Do you want to know how to build a budget RS? If so, you're in the right place, so stick around. Hi, I'm Xander and welcome back to the channel Boosted Blueprints, the channel where I lay out the blueprint for your next build. Firstly, I want to just thank you again for the continued support. The Golf R video was absolutely amazing and it got so much support from you guys. All the constructive criticism I'm going to take and just make all the future videos even better. In today's video, we're going to be talking about none other than the bright orange, most obnoxious car that ever hit the car scene, the Focus ST. I absolutely love this car. I love it so much, I bought one and built it stage 2. And as we run through the mods, I'll give my personal experience on the best mods to fit your build and just generally why I love the car so much. The Focus ST is a performance icon, powered by a turbocharged 2.5 litre 5-cylinder engine producing 225 brake horsepower and 236 pounds of torque. This hot hatch rockets from 0 to 60 in just 6.5 seconds and reaches a very respectable top speed of 150 miles an hour. Its punchy power delivery, responsive handling and aggressive styling makes it a true driver's car. Plus, with its massive tuning potential, simple upgrades can push it well beyond 300 brake horsepower. Whether stock or modified, the ST delivers thrilling performance with an unmistakable 5-cylinder soundtrack. As always, in this video we're going to be sticking with 80,000 miles, a good service history and clean bodywork. These cars come in either a 3-door or a 5-door. I actually love the 5-door. It might not look as cool as the 3-door, but for practical reasons it's fantastic. And honestly, starting at 4K is just an absolute steal. Right, now we've seen the cars, let's try and turn this into this. Let's dive into those mods and start building that blueprint. It seems like every Focus ST under the sun has been mapped, and that's for a good reason. With gains of 40 to 60 horsepower and an amazing torque gain, it can turn an old school hot hatch into a real competitor for the modern day hatches. The Focus ST is an absolutely amazing platform, so let's look at the remaps that will fit in your budget. Starting with Avon Tuning, personally my favourite, just because they've tuned my Focus ST to stage 2. And this comes in at £399 with a rolling road. Dream Science, another extremely popular choice with Ford enthusiasts, and this will come in at just £300. Another amazing choice for the Ford is the Bluefin chip, and this comes in at £420. Let's just add £400 to our shopping list, as this covers a wide range of tuners out there that will fit in your budget. Stage 1 is the best value for money for building big horsepower out of your car, and it's a great way to start your obnoxious ST build. Even with bolt-ons, you're only looking at around 300 brake horsepower unless you spend serious money on your ST. But honestly, with the power delivery and the torque gains, it is literally one of the most exciting cars around to drive. Let's start by looking at all the modifications required to build your ST so it will compete with its older brother, the Focus RS. Let's dive into those mods and start building this blueprint. As always, let's start off with the beginner mod, the air filter. Let's go through some options that will fit into your budget. Starting with the slightly less popular Durenza, coming in at a very good price of only £95. Next up, we have the very popular Ram Air, and that comes in at only £135. And finally, the most popular K&N, but it comes in at a steeper £175. And for this build, the Ram Air, as I can personally tell you, is a phenomenal choice. So let's add £135 to our shopping list. Next up, downpipes. And let's start by looking at the budget option, R-Sport, and that comes in at only £140. A top choice has to go to Gravity, at a really good price of only £165. On a more expensive side, you've got Dream Science coming in at £245. As this is a budget build, let's add Gravities at £165 to our shopping list. The full exhaust system is probably the go-to mod on these cars, just because who doesn't love pulling up to those car meets and revving the famous 5-pot cylinder engine. Starting with the famous Miltech, which is actually a top choice for most Ford enthusiasts, and this comes in at a crazy price of only £645. Next up, my favourite, probably because it's completely as-built, Mongoose at £810, and finally the exhaust I had, Cobra, at a higher price of just under £950. So for this build, we have to go with the one that got away from me, Mongoose, at £810. Next up, intercoolers. We all know that there's probably no reason for me to go through these because every ST that's ever been modded with an upgraded intercooler has AirTech. But let's go through some options anyway, just in case you want to avoid them. Firstly, we do have the one and only AirTech. We have to mention them because, to be honest, at £350 it's probably the best choice. Next up, we have Dream Science, and this is absolutely amazing and a fan favourite, and this only comes in at £395. And finally, we have the less popular Durenza, and this comes in at a higher price of £425. Let's be honest, we can't take anything but the AirTech for this build, right? So let's add £350 to our shopping list. After building all these modifications, you'll be looking at around 300 horsepower. And as I said before, this isn't a crazy number, we all know this. But with a torque delivery as well, we definitely need to be looking at its older brother's clutch and flywheel. The RS clutch and flywheel kit helps control the horsepower that you've thrown into your build. The kit comes in at only £500, so let's just add that to our shopping list. With all these mods, you'll be looking at about 300 horsepower, which we all know is not a lot. You get stock hot hatches these days with way over 300 horsepower, but I promise you, the fun it is to drive a tuned ST is like no other. If you get your hands on one, absolutely do it because they're so much fun to drive. We all know 90% of ST builds are heavily focused on building a budget RS that turns heads at car meets and absolutely roars. If you want to go down the more budget friendly route, you can pick up a really nice set of second-hand RS replica rims for under £500. But if your budget allows it, you can pick up genuine Ford Focus ST225 wheels, which are the same set on the RS for £300 a piece or £1,200 for the full set. I know in the previous videos, I am a lover of wheelbase alloy because they've treated me so well with many purchases in the past. But if you want a different location, Alloy Wheel Shop will be a great option for picking your unique budget rims to fit your build. As always, in the comment section, let me know if you build your ST to look like its older brother, the RS, or you want something a little bit more you. As there are so many great options, whether you go secondhand or brand new, as always, let's just stick £500 to our shopping list for a nice set of rims. The only negative I can personally vouch for the ST when it's stock is it rolls. So let's have a look at some lowering options that will fit into your budget. Starting with the BC Racing coilover kit. This comes in at a hefty price of £1,050. But as the Focus ST sits very nicely on a set of lowering springs, let's take the trusted iBack lowering springs at only £215. And for that price, we've got to put them straight onto that shopping list. Finally, body kits. And to be honest, with the ST, it's a pretty straightforward build path. Let's have a look at Maxton Design. Again, they offer the best kits for the money, and honestly, if you want the ST to look like its older brother, they have everything you need. Starting with, of course, the aggressive RS spoiler, and this comes in at just under £275. Next up, the diffuser, and this comes in at a really reasonable price of £135. And how can we build a Focus ST without the RS vents or the mud flaps? Both little mods with a huge impact on the look of your ST. Now we've covered all the mods for this blueprint, let's look at the final cost of the build. As you can see, building the perfect Focus ST can be done on a seriously good budget, and the legendary 5-pot will forever have its place in the car scene. And coming in at just over £8,500, I think it's one of the best builds you can do in the car scene. And there we have it, another build to add to the list of blueprints. The Focus ST will always have my heart as one of the best and most iconic cars in the car scene. I want to know what you think of it, so drop a comment below, let me know what you think of the Focus ST. I know it's a bit like Marmite, some people love it, some people hate it. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to see another build, please drop it in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe on this video, it means the world to me. I'll see you in the next one. Remember, keep building and stay boosted.